Okay, so first question from Gavin Cooney. And
Hey, Enda, how are things? I'm afraid we might just start with the off-field stuff for just a moment. Another player in the group had tested positive, and then there was confusion as to a negative, and then another positive. How disruptive has it been for the squad?
Yeah, obviously it's very disruptive. It's new to all of us, and it's something that we haven't really experienced. But it's just one of them things that we kind of have to get on with and just focus on the football, to be honest.
Yeah, and is it like, have you changed your behaviour, how you're acting, or have you been told to change your behaviour in any way since this has happened, or is this just kind of an occupational hazard of everything at the moment?
They just set out guidelines for us, and we got to kind of maintain our distances from each other as much as we can, and we have been doing that, and it's just unfortunate with the cases that we've got.
Yeah, but I suppose not much else can really be done. I suppose it's more the virus than much anything.
Yeah, it's out of our hands really. It's just, as I said, it's just really unlucky for us, especially the timing of it and all that. But it's just something that we got to live with at the moment, and you hope people are staying safe. You know, people who obviously who have tested positive, that they overcome it and they're okay.
Yeah. And on the football end, like looking at the squad now, obviously there's been lots of changes, but it's a pretty young squad. You're one of the veterans, I think, at this point. It's pretty exciting squad looking at it from the outside. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of young talent in there, and it's a big opportunity for a lot of them, and it's the biggest stage that they can show their talents and show what they can do. And as I said, there's going to be plenty of opportunity there for players because of the whole COVID situation and so much change going on, and it's a big chance for them to put their names in the manager's head.
Okay, William from Off the Ball.
And just kind of wondering about those withdrawals, just how disruptive it's been. I mean, obviously last Thursday, very late in the day, you find out that Alan and Aaron aren't going to be part of the squad. It's about 2 hours beforehand you find out about what's going to happen on Sunday. How difficult is it as a player? Because I'd imagine you'll have had people down to mark certain players at corners and everything lined out, and then have to make so many changes close to kick-off. How difficult was that aspect of it?
Yeah, it changes, but you got to give credit to the manager and the staff that everybody knows their jobs. We're all in the meeting rooms together. It's not just the 11 lads that are named to play, the subs, everybody else. They're all well drilled and they all know what to do. So worst case scenario, if they do have to step in, they're well prepared, and I think that showed.
As a defensive unit, look, it's been tricky at the far end trying to score goals, but you must be pretty happy with these first 4 games under Stephen, and it's a record that stretches back under Mick as well. You've been very miserly as a defence. You must be quite happy with the amount of clean sheets you're keeping.
Yeah, it's what we want to build on. We want to build on clean sheets, and hopefully, as you said, the goals will come. But it's not just really the back four. I think as a team and as a unit, I think we've improved massively defending, because it's not so much a case where we're sitting on the edge of our own box and 11 men behind the ball. We're putting pressure on teams higher up the pitch and winning the ball back in better areas, and I think that's kind of resulted to us creating more clear-cut chances in front of goal.
Particularly away to Bulgaria, yourself and Aaron Connolly seem to be developing a good partnership down that left-hand side. If he gets the nod to start in Finland tomorrow night, are you looking forward to rekindling that partnership again down the left?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very important to kind of play as much as you can with lads and build up that relationship. And Aaron's he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's doing excellent for Brighton, and hopefully we can kind of, as you said, build up that relationship and create a lot of goals for Ireland.
You mentioned about the young players coming in.
William?
Yeah.
That'd be enough. Damien from GA, please.
And just briefly going back to COVID, I mean, as a group of players, do you feel safe at the moment? And are you in contact with your clubs constantly over this?
Yeah, obviously we feel safe. It's kind of our first experience with it all happening, like for my club and country. But it's just something that we've been living with for the past months, and yeah, you are in contact with your club. COVID, but even before COVID was here, our clubs will still be in contact with us, asking is everything okay and that. But as I said, it's new to a lot of us. But it's just something we have to get on with. It's here and it's not going anywhere soon. But we have to trust in the doctors and the staff here that they're doing their very best to keep us safe, and hopefully they can.
Brilliant. And just in terms of the looking at the lack of goals at the moment, from what you've seen in the last 4 games, are you confident that there are goals there from the chances you've been creating as a team?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you look at the chances, they're clear-cut chances. They're probably expected goals, and it's just been unfortunate that we haven't really hit the net, and it's probably the bit of luck that we need, and the confidence boost that we'll get from scoring goals will only help us grow. And we've got to keep defending well, got to keep clean sheets, and as long as we stay in games, I think them goals will come.
Thank you.
Okay, Ed Leahy. Okay, no Ed. Okay, we go to Guy. Guy Havertz, Sky Sports.
And how are you doing? Sorry about that. I had it on mute. So yeah, look, just obviously coming from the Premier League, where the Premier League, when it came back to play after the first spell of COVID, there was so much money at stake, and there was so many precautions in place. So for you, coming from the Premier League sort of bubble, I suppose, and coming into camp last week, was there a sense that it was a little bit more laid back when you came to the Irish camp, or were the regulations and restrictions in from day one?
No, they're in from day one. We literally go from the airport off the plane straight into a car, straight into the bubble. We are completely locked away from everybody outside in the hotel. There's no family, there's no friends coming up, meeting in reception or anything. We are in a complete bubble.
Cool. Okay, and then just looking towards the match, and Mick McCarthy obviously was very open with his thoughts. He used to just say, get the ball in the box and get bodies in the box, and the goals will come. I'm sure it wasn't as simple as that, but could you give us any sort of idea of what Stevens' approach is to actually creating those chances in the final third?
Yeah, I think the gaffer wants goals to come anyway. Whether it's individual brilliance, crosses in the box, or it's playing through the lines, and I think he more just wants us to kind of dominate the ball and dominate long spells in the games and just be on top, and I think we have been doing that. And I think the big thing for us is we haven't just scored, we need to score when we're on top, and we haven't done that yet. And once you do that, you can kind of relax and everything can kind of like settle into the game. And we've played really, really well. I thought we created some very good opportunities, especially over the last 2 games, and we're not a million miles away from that.
Okay, Guy Havertz, Sky Sports, please.
Hi, sorry to go back to coronavirus again, but the fact that one of your squad members tested positive, then tested negative, and then tested positive, do you as an individual and indeed as a squad have total confidence in the testing system?
To be honest, I don't really want to even get involved in that. Like, I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, I just want to play football, so as long as my test comes back negative, I'm happy enough. Like.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on to the game, it's going to be tough to top the group, obviously. So, what are the priorities tomorrow? What are Ireland playing for?
We're playing to win. It's a results business, and we all know that, and we need to go out there and put on a good performance, because we didn't really do ourselves any favour in the home game. I know it was kind of pre-season time, but we want to kind of amend that result and go on there and beat a strong Finland team.
Okay, Paul Walsh for the final questions in the live section now.
Thanks, Kieran. Hi, Enda. How are things?
Yeah, right. Yeah, good.
Has the last week been a bit mad?
Yeah, it has been. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but it's just one of them things you just get on with, As footballers, all we want to do is play football, and we've got a big opportunity tomorrow now to go out there and do the business.
You're used to training and you're used to playing football, but in the last week and then indeed the last few months, it's been training, get tested. The last few days you get positive results. Players are ruled out because they're close contacts of that positive result. Is that a situation that you're still trying to adjust to, and is it a distraction from football?
No, it upsets our probably rhythm, obviously, because the manager has a team picked, and it's unfortunate when you're here so late in that. But as footballers, we're just programmed to get on with things. there's a game ahead of us. We can't really be making excuses or anything like that. You know, we've got a job to do, and hopefully we can do that tomorrow night.
Just one more for me. You've played well in the season so far, more possession in the last game than when you played Wales before. Are you confident that the win is going to come soon, and perhaps against Finland tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've put in I think we warranted wins in the last 2 games. It's just unfortunate we couldn't kind of hit the net, and we've been working hard on it and training, and I think the lads are confident. You know, we're as I said, we're on top. We're dominating long spells in the games, and that's the main thing. And I think if you keep creating chances, we're going to score sooner rather than later.
Okay, guys.
Sorry, can I just have a quick word with Enda, please?
We've run out of the most section, unfortunately. We're on a real tight schedule here, Tony. Can we have the first question for the embargoed section? The embargoed section is 11 PM tonight, please.